Hello, Sherry Berry here, and today I'm making a video about some tips and tricks. And of course, some of the stuff will be about Jamberry because I am a Jamberry consultant, or well, very soon will be. But some of it is just for general nail care or in nail polishing. So I just thought I would just kind of throw some of these things out there. Some of the stuff I can actually attest to. Some of the other things were just that I heard about or read about, and just thought if anybody out there can use this information, that would be wonderful. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start out with is a question that I'm asked. Are Jamberry wraps going to damage my nail? Well, they will not damage your nails if your nails are healthy, if you apply the nails correctly, and if you remove the nail wraps correctly. But if you do have a damaged nail, you can cause more damage if you put a Jamberry wrap over a damaged, peeling, brittle, weak nail. But that, the same thing can be said for if you put nail polish and, then constantly removing it with nail polish remover. If you do acrylic nails, if you do gel nails. So if you do have seriously damaged nails, doing anything with your nails can further the damage. But an interesting thing about the health of your nails is that your nails, and actually even your tongue, are indicative of some health issues that you may have. So if you are having some problems, it is always a good idea to go to the doctor. Okay, so I do have some notes with me, so I'm sorry if sometimes I'm not looking right at you. I just don't want to forget anything because I do have a lot of things that I want to cover. All right, so according to www.livestrong.com, these are some things that can cause problems with your nails. The first one is, I know it sounds kind of like an oxymoron, is too much moisture, but moisture from water and excessive washing, washing dishes, that constant, wet, dry, that will wear and tear on your nails. Also, excessive use of hand sanitizer is also drying to your nails. And I have heard that sometimes latex gloves, the powder that's inside the latex gloves, can cause excessive dryness. And then also trauma, such as biting your nails, peeling your wraps or nail polish off of your nails. And also, and I know women are very known to do this, we've all done it, and we know that we shouldn't, but we do it anyways, but using our nails as tools for scraping and prying and lifting, and then also household cleaning products and harsh chemicals can dry out your hands. So those are the physical things that can cause dryness, but there are actually two medical conditions that can cause problems with your nails too. So like I said, if you are having these issues, plus other symptoms of problems, hypothyroidism and iron deficiency, and I actually have both of those. So my nails are crap. And I don't always forget to take my iron pill. I do always remember to take my thyroid pill, but the iron I don't. And if I'm not taking that consistently, I definitely see a difference in the health of my nails. But then another problem that I have is, even though I have damaged nails, and I am preaching to the choir and asking everybody, please take care of your nails and don't do this and don't do that, I do it. I use the Jamberry wraps on my nails even though I know that I shouldn't. And it does cause further damage, but I know I'm only hurting myself. But a lot of it is because I don't like the looks of my nails because they look horrible, and I would love, I'd like so much better to cover them up in something that's pretty and sparkly and cute, and I get compliments, and I do not get compliments on my, horrible, short, peeling nails. So in doing so, then the payback is that it makes my nails weaker when I'm taking those on and off. So there are some things that you can do to help the health of your nails, and I need to do better at this. So I actually do plan on doing some, I don't know if I'll just do some before and after pictures on my Facebook page, which is Sherry Schaefer's Jamberry business page. about before and after when I actually do start trying to take better care of my nails. And one of that will be by using a strengthening nail polish, and Jamberry does happen to make that. This is their strengthening base coat. And so if you do use a clear polish to help your nails, you apply that about once or twice a week. But then when you remove it, make sure that you do use a non-acetone nail polish remover. Then another thing that I've heard, but I haven't tried yet, is using fractionated coconut oil. And fractionated means that it stays in its melted state and it doesn't have that coconut smell. But coconut oil supposedly is microbial and moisturizing. So if you rub some of that on your fingers, underneath your fingers and your cuticle, supposedly that's supposed to help the health of your nails. When you're doing your nail prep, some of the things in doing a nail prep can be drying to your nails. So one of the things is using the alcohol to dry out your nails. You might want to try white vinegar instead of the alcohol. It's supposed to be less drying. And then also using an oil drying soap like Dawn dish soap. That way then it's removing some of the oil from your nails, but it's not stripping it like the alcohol, if that makes sense. And then don't excessively buff your nails. That also includes, when you're trying to remove some of the excess cuticle buildup after you've pushed your cuticles down, instead of using the buffer block to, scrape that off, use a liquid or cream cuticle remover. And I know that Jamberry does make that, but I have not used it. I do want to use that as soon as I can get some. And using it, I think I did mention, using a non-acetone nail polish remover, and always using a good hand moisturizer. Ladies, and again, I'm preaching, to do this, and I don't myself. Wear gloves when you wash hands, when you're scrubbing floors, anytime you're using harsh chemicals or washing the dishes, use gloves. That's a very simple way to protect your hands and your nails. Then there's also a product that I've been using for years. It's called Nutrinail, and I even kept the little instruction thing that it came with. It's Nutrinail 5 to 7 day growth with calcium and protein. And this actually isn't a polish, which is why I liked it better than using a strengthening polish. It's just kind of a liquid, creamy kind of substance that it does have a brush, so you polish it on just like nail polish, but do the whole nail and then get underneath the edge of the nail if you have one. I don't have one because my nails are right at the edge of the bed and along the cuticle. And you do this twice a day, and you just rub it in. And it doesn't have to be rubbed in dry. You can leave it a little bit wet, but it does dry in pretty quickly. Okay, and another option that you can use that will help with the health of your nails are essential oils. Now, I don't actually sell doTerra, but I do buy doTerra. I did buy a $35 membership so that I could get the wholesale pricing. And I did buy kind of like a starter essentials kit, and I'm so glad that I did, because the essential oils have really made a difference in some of the things that I've been using them for. I use it for myself, plus I also use it for my family, and I know that they work, so I don't have a problem promoting those. And I wouldn't have a problem if anybody told me, hey, I would like to buy this, I will place orders for you. If you wanted to sign up for your own membership to take advantage of the wholesale pricing. But I do not want to be a consultant. I don't want to sell the doTerra. Not because it's not a good product, it's just not something that I feel comfortable selling. The Jamberry I'm much more familiar with. There isn't so much that I have to remember. The oils do so much, and there's so many things that they can do that I just wouldn't feel comfortable trying to remember all that and try and sell it. I don't feel like I could sell it in a way that it should be presented. Jamberry I feel much more comfortable with. So if you are interested by any chance, just PM me on my Facebook page, Sherry Schaefer's Jamberry business page, and I will get back to you with any information that you might need. But I just wanted to go over, you know, some natural things that you can do to help your nails by using the doTerra oils. You can, see, now this is where I definitely need to refer to my notes. If you have soft, weak nails, use eucalyptus, which I don't have, lemon, which I do have. I'll have to move this out of the way. I have lemon, I don't have lime, or I don't have white fir. If you have an infected nail, you know, whether it be you know, like a splinter or an ingrown toenail or a hangnail, you can use frankincense. I love frank. That's what I call it endearingly. It's so good for so many things. It is expensive, that is a drawback, but it's so useful for so many things that's one of my favorites, is the frankincense. And which I don't have any at the moment. It's on order, on the way. Now I've lost my place. Oh, lemon, so I just show you that. Eucalyptus, melaleuca. Melaleuca is also tea tree oil, so I do have that. Myrrh and thyme. I don't think I have thyme. For brittle nails, you can use cypress. You can use rosemary, which I thought that I had. Oh yes, there's the rosemary. Roman chamomile, oregano, which I do have. Oregano. Oh, here it is. It's the little bottle at the end. That's why I didn't see it. Lavender, marjoram, eucalyptus, grapefruit, lemon, and the melaleuca again. And sorry, allergies are bothering me, so I have kind of itchy eyes. And so, okay, so I did the soft weak nails, the infected nails, the brittle nails, and fungus. Fungal infections. I've actually had, embarrassingly, I admit that I've had two. One was on my toes about 2 years ago, and more recently, about 6 months ago, on my fingers. And for that, the last reason, the second time, that is the reason why I will no longer frequent any Asian-owned and operated nail salons, because these were two different ones, and I ended up with fungal infections. The toes wasn't as much of an issue because you can kind of cover that up. Fingernails was a big time issue. So I will actually go, I will not do any manicures anymore. So I have to do them at home, and I would much rather have Jamberry anyways. And pedicures, I do need to get pedicures every once in a while because of physical reasons. I have trouble reaching my feet. And there are only two places that I would trust going to, because I know that they would sterilize everything. And I live in Northeast Ohio, so shout outs to Salon Next in Ravenna and Fringe Salon and Spa in Stowe. Awesome, awesome job. And I've never had a problem with any kind of infection. And like I said, I know I trust them, and I know that they're going to keep everything clean and sanitized like they should, like all nail salons should. How I ever got those fungal infections in the first place, it's sad. I should never have gotten those from going to a place that's supposed to specialize in nail care. All right, so before I go on too much of a tangent on that, when I had the fungal infection on my toes, I did, just a drugstore bought fungal infection fighter, and it took months and months. So when I got the fingernail infection, I decided to look it up through doTerra and try a natural essential oils way of getting rid of the fungal infection. It got rid of it in weeks. There are a couple oils that you can use for that. You can use, arborvitae is the number one to use. You can also use basil, clove, eucalyptus, geranium, oregano, or lemongrass. Now, I made a handy dandy little spray bottle mixture concoction of, I used arborvitae, melaleuca, and basil, and then diluted it with the fractionated coconut oil. And the fractionated coconut oil is actually very important, because there are certain essential oils that are considered hot oils. So things like cinnamon and peppermint. They even have a black pepper one. The arborvitae, the basil, the oregano. If you put that directly on skin without diluting it with the essential or with the coconut oil, you will get a very unpleasant burning sensation on your skin. But I think it's mainly the arborvitae in here that was spectacular in getting rid of that fungal infection very quickly. However, oh my God, the smell awful. So I would only put this on at night before I go to bed, and then nobody could smell me because it's pretty potent. You know, and even just using the melaleuca or the tea tree oil, as I mentioned before, because that's actually good to use anytime you've done a manicure or a pedicure, just as an assurance. So whether you get one at a salon or you do it at home, it doesn't hurt to rub a little bit of the tea tree oil, you know, or underneath your fingers around your cuticles, you know, just a preventative. The melaleuca has kind of a strange smell too, so if you're not familiar with it and you do use it, just kind of be forewarned that it is kind of an odd smell. It's not horrible, you know, but it's not like it's, you know, some of the lavender and the lemon that smell is wonderful. Okay, so I think I've covered all of that. All right. So another question that I'm asked quite frequently is if Jamberry wraps can be used on short nails. Why, yes, they can, and you know, I'm proof that it can be used on short nails. And in fact, actually, since I had to cut my nails and they are so short, I do plan on doing another video about how to do a whole application with short nails and to show how well they go on and how pretty it looks. Because when I did the video about how to apply the wraps, I used my Wonder Woman wraps, and I was, you know, I think in that video I'd even said, oh my gosh, my nails are the longest they've been in a long time. Because actually, you know, wearing the wraps themselves strengthen your nails. So that wasn't breaking my weak, brittle nails because they were covered with the wraps. But then when I had taken those wraps off, it was several days, and when I didn't have anything, and so then they started breaking. So then I had to just cut them all down. Okay, so before I get off on too much of a tangent with that, there are, you know, just some little tips and tricks about using them on short nails. And one of the things that you have to consider is the pattern on the wrap. Because you're only going to be using such a small portion of the print. So if you have, you know, a wrap that only has a print here and in here and in here, and then there's, you know, space in between there, you know, you may only get the part that doesn't have much of a pattern in it, or you might have all pattern and don't get any of the solid color. So just always keep that in mind when choosing a pattern, that if you have short nails, about how much of that pattern is actually going to show on your nails. In the Jamberry wraps, there are 18 on a sheet, because you can do 2 manicures in here. Plus, then you have extras for pedicure, you know, like these big ones here are good for your big toes, and for accent wraps. But to get your 2 full manicures, you cut your sheet in half, and then you only use half of a wrap for each hand. So if I cut these in half, I use this one time on these hands, and then, you know, a couple weeks later when I do this pattern again, and I have this half, I cut each of these wraps and use them on both hands. Well, when you have short nails, you can almost get 3 manis out of this sheet, because if you have really small nails or really short nails, you can almost cut these small ones in thirds and use them 1, 2, 3 times instead of in half, where you would only use it twice. So you actually get a little bit more if you have short nails. So just something to make that seem a little bit better. And then when you are filing off the excess, instead of using a high grit file like the one that I showed in my how to apply wraps, I used a very, very rough grit. Use a softer grit emery board, and then instead of filing this way, which feels weird, and I know that I mentioned that I have like the textile thing, yeah, then when my nails are this short, then that's all I feel is the emery board against my skin. At least when they're longer, it's not quite as abrasive. When they're this short, it's right up against your skin. So if you're doing that 90-degree angle, it's not pretty. So you can actually do a 45-degree angle when you have the short nails. Okay, so I think that was it for the short nails. Now I'm just going to go over some miscellaneous tips and tricks. I love these. Ulta. These are the dual tip cotton swabs. And why I love these so much. As you see this nice pointy end there, that is perfect for getting around with, just get this tip wet with a little bit of nail polish remover, and it gets right underneath that cuticle because it's such a precision point. So it gets, if you get the polish below your cuticle, you just go right right along that bottom part, and then when you get it like in the sides, in between your nail and the skin, you can get right up into those sides. So these dual tipped Q-tips, which are only a couple dollars at Ulta, are wonderful for that. So there's just that little trick there. Then, the quick dry or rapid dry nail spray, that's a must. So whenever you've polished your nails and you're done with the base coat and the polish and the top coat, I would spray with the quick dry nail spray, and this just happens to be the OPI. I do know that Jamberry makes one also, I just don't have it. And I have not personally verified this trick, but it sounded like a good one, so I just thought I would pass this along. To help prevent your nail polish or nail lacquer from chipping at the ends of your nails, which usually happens, at least in my case, so quickly, they say that when you apply your base coat, to put one layer of a base coat on the upper half of your nail, and then go back and do a second coat of the base coat across the whole nail. So if somebody decides to try that, come back to my video and comment and let me know if that worked or not. Then, if you've ever heard about the hack of adding polish remover to an old nail polish that's gotten old and thick, no. That is a big no-no. It is called polish remover for a reason. So why you would want to pour that into your nail polish, it doesn't work. You can actually buy nail polish thinner at places like Sally Beauty Supply, and I don't think it's very expensive, but please go buy that and use that in your nail polish, and then it will save your nail polish and you can use it much longer. If you put the remover in, it's not going to work, and you're going to ruin your nail polish because it'll never be the same. Alright, and I think that's it for the miscellaneous tips. So now I'm going to get back to some tips exclusively for Jamberry. This is about choosing the size of your wrap that best fits your finger. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, I am very OCD and a perfectionist. And when I first was putting on the Jamberry wraps, I wanted to make sure that the wraps were fitting my nail perfectly. I wanted them to go from edge to edge and be the perfect size and cover my nail perfectly. Well, that's really not the best way to apply the nail. You actually want a little bit of your nail showing on the sides, on the sides of your nail. The wraps should not be the complete and total perfect size of your nail. Because what happens is when that wrap is touching your skin, which it might not look like it is, but it is. It's going to touch if you don't leave a little bit of a gap. Then that's how your wraps will bubble and wrinkle, and moisture will get underneath there when you're washing your hands. Hopefully you're using gloves, but I know sometimes it's not always possible. The moisture will get in there and then they'll start lifting, and then you're not going to get your wraps to last 2 weeks. So when you use your finger to judge what size wrap is going to fit, you want to make sure that you are using a wrap that is slightly smaller than the size of your finger. Trust me, it will work better. Your wraps will last a lot longer. And nobody is really, except you, nobody is looking right at your finger and like, whoa, I can see a little bit of nail there. No, nobody is going to see that, know that it's there except for you. And especially if you're a perfectionist and OCD, you just mentally like block it out. Believe me, you'll be much happier with your wraps lasting a long time instead of them coming off a couple of days later. After you put all of that work making them so perfect and taking such a long time to make them so perfect, and then they fall off a couple days later. No, no, no. Let them do it and do a little bit smaller, let them last longer. But another trick that I learned about making sure that a wrap is the size of your nail, or slightly smaller than the size of your nail, because you only have so many sizes. And you know, I can only, since I have small nails, I can only wear this pinky one. Is the only one that will fit on my pinky. If I ruin this wrap for whatever reason, oh yes, like when I blew the wrap halfway across the bathroom with my blow dryer the first time I tried using the blow dryer to heat my wrap. And then I didn't have another nail size that I could even put on my pinky. So here is a quick, easy way of getting a wrap to fit your finger. Just get some Scotch tape. And if you have, you know, damaged nails, you have to be very careful with this stuff. So you're not going to, you know, you don't want to apply the tape actually to your fingernail and pressing on it. But you apply the piece of tape to your nail. And then you take a fine tip marker, you know, like a Sharpie, or, you know, some ink pens might work, but at least with the Sharpie, you know it's definitely going to write on there. And I don't know if you can see from here. I might have to do it here. You just go around. I'm not going to be able to actually do this because I can't see. But you would actually go around and you would just draw out the shape of your fingernail all the way to the top. And this looks horrible because I'm trying to do it kind of from behind. And then you want to take that drawing, that looks horrible, take that drawing and lay it on the back side of your wrap. And then you will be, so I don't know if you can see that. It's red, so you can't really see it. Then you go in with your scissors and you cut that on the inside of the line and cut that wrap to that width of your finger. Neat, huh? So, that's another Jamberry hack. All right. And I think that's actually, another Jamberry trick is that one, you know, and this is if you're doing the normal manicure with normal size fingernails, and after you do your filing off of the excess at the edge with the 90 degree, then go back in with a glass file, which I don't have one yet, and I know Jamberry does sell them. And I believe that it might come in with my starter kit when I get that. Don't quote me on that, so I'm not positive. I hope so, because I do want one. But so when you do your initial removal of the excess wrap at the end of your finger at the 90 degree, go in with that glass file and go at the 45 degree at the edge. And you will actually be surprised at some of the excess that you still get off of that edge when you do it at the 45 with the glass file. And what that will ensure is that it will leave a little bit of your nail tip exposed, the fingernail tip exposed. But again, you might notice it because you're looking right at it, but nobody else is going to see it. But that will help keep the wraps adhered to your nail, and that you don't have any wrap hanging over the edge. If you have any excess wrap, and you might not even be able to see it because it'll almost be microscopic, when that gets wet from washing your hands or taking a shower, then moisture is going to get underneath that, and then your wrap is going to start lifting prematurely. So that's just another way to ensure that your wraps are going to last you the 2 weeks. Okay, and that is it for my tips. Now lastly, I should say this is my last one. In one of my videos, I think it was to apply the wraps, I had said that I was going to demonstrate in the tips and tricks video the difference between a blow dryer and the Jamberry heater, which, you know, I love because of the whole blow dryer and wrap on the toilet thing. So I'm going to just demonstrate with a wrap here. Get my little cuticle pusher. Alright, I'm going to take this wrap off the edge. And I'm using a whole wrap. You know what, actually I should probably cut this, but I don't have scissors with me right now. So I'm going to use a whole wrap. So it might not flap around quite this much because you're only going to be using half of this. So you know what, actually I'm not actually going to be using this wrap, it's just one of my samples. I'll apply it there, like you were folding it, the edge of an actual wrap. Alright, and hopefully you can see this. Alright, so the heater's on. And you can see that it's a gentle sound, and it's just gently blowing on the wrap and heating it up, and you can see that it's starting to curl. So it's very nice and gentle. The wrap is not flapping around. And when you have the heater on your table or your surface, it has the stand, so you're totally hands-free. Okay, you see how nice and easy that is? Okay, now, let me turn this off. Now we have the blow dryer, and I don't have a lot of outlets in here, so I have to unplug the heater and put my blow dryer in. Oh, oops, I turned my lights off. Okay, and plug that in. Okay. Alright, here comes the blow dryer. Alright, so now I'm holding this with a hand, and then I have this. So if I need to do something, then I have to like put the blow dryer in between my knees and do it this way. So actually I will do that. Okay. So there's the blow dryer. And there's the wrap. Look at bending. Like that's not because it's melting, it's because the force of the blow dryer is bending it. And if you had that on any looser, like I did the first time that I tried to use them, the wrap just blew away. So that is why I like the Jamberry heater so much. You can use the heater. The heater will do the trick. The heater will heat up your wrap so you can apply it to your nail. But it's just much stronger, it's much louder, and if you're not careful, then it can blow your wrap away. And it also doesn't leave you hands-free unless you put the blow dryer in between your legs. Alright, well, I think that's it. I'm done playing around. And until next time, that's a wrap. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, comment, like below. See ya.